love that guy's music. Love that guy's music. Alright, so let's bring in
Stuff like that.
Discord.
Yeah.
Alright, welcome back live with the Shaman. Everybody's chatting over in Discord. Let's go ahead and fire it up. Alright, so let's get the disclaimers out of the way, right? Live with the Shaman is an adult channel. Not that any of us always claim to be adult, mind you, but yeah. We do use open language, we do curse on occasion, and we do talk about topics that are not always politically correct. Right.
Snicker from the peanut gallery.
Yeah. Alright, over in the description area of our broadcast and our upload links, our affiliates that we share with, there is a Discord apps never expiring link, lbry.tv, where you can download any of our broadcasts if you like. And of course the link to the musician that we listen to on YouTube. We like to support their channels as well. Alright. Live with the Shaman. Sometimes I should say live with the Shamans or live with the crazy folk.
Crazy folks. Yeah.
That we are. we are absolutely crazy folk. Yep. Those of you that may be watching our pre-recorded broadcast or our broadcast for the first time, we do like to interactively chat over on the podcast and Discord. Feel free to join. You do not, repeat, you do not have to be Shaman to join our broadcast. Just be mildly respectful, because we are Shaman and we don't give a shit. Quite honestly. The political correctness that I try to exercise in Open Pagan Church, because that is a family channel, does not always carry over to Live with the Shaman. That being said, our topic today is shamanism and stress. There's a lot of it going on today.
When does it not go on?
Yeah, but boy, let me tell you, as of late, stress has been a ripping bitch, because population of planet Earth has lost its fucking mind.
Right?
So let me ask you a question, Shaman or not, those of you guys that are in Discord, what are some of the stresses you're dealing with, and how are you dealing with them?
Well, I have stress because with the pandemic going on, with my people out of work and stuff. So how do we deal with it? Get busy around the house. I have honeydew jobs that they're helping with. So I'm getting some work out of them.
The best way to get work out of people is trap their ass at the house, and they have no choice but anything else.
Yeah, but these people don't know how to do anything. Like, not you. I'm talking about, like, the majority of people, they don't even know how to fucking cook.
Yeah, true enough. There's a number of people out there that don't have a clue how to wipe their own ass. They have to have instructions, but, you know. So, what are some of the stresses you guys are dealing with, and how are you handling that stress?
Well, come on, guys.
All right, I'll go. Of course, the pandemic, extremely immune compromised. This sounds silly, but I have a goat that's way overdue with pregnancy, so I'm worried about losing her. Just family stuff that is a little too personal. But the way I'm dealing with it is I'm embracing going batshit crazy. That sounds horrible, but I'm embracing it. I'm embracing my quirkiness and my weirdness and the fact that people don't get me, and yeah.
I've always embraced the fact that that I'm crazy.
It's a little different though when you're stuck because like my husband won't let me leave the farm. He won't let me, because he's so worried because I won't survive it if I did it. And he's, so even on our little farm, you find new doors of craziness.
Yes, isolation will absolutely drive a batshit person sane.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. And it's a new venture for me, but I'm embracing it.
Well, it's a new venture for a lot of us, and I mean I know in the shaman path, um, we we try to discuss some of the topics of how shamans that are coming in and seeking the shaman path might handle things. And quite honestly, the easiest way that I have found to handle this crap is to just stop and breathe.
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a shaman thing, it's a human thing to just stop and breathe. We humans want to get into all of this control shit, and quite honestly, when it comes down to flu season, even though I get my flu shot, if I get a variant of the flu, I'm down for about 3 days. I can't find my ass with both hands and a flashlight because of the fever. Um, some would say that's a natural state of mind for me, and that's all right. Um, but if I was to catch this shit that's going on out there right now, um, y'all just light a candle for me because I'm done.
Right, right.
But at the same time, with the stress, if I mull on that and I allow that fear to be the only thing I'm thinking about, then here goes the rabbit hole of stress.
Yep.
Okay, so fear, right, builds stress. The compiling of stress increases the fear, which increases the anxieties, which builds the stress, which increases the fear, which builds the anger because we can't control the stress. Everybody can kind of see where I'm going with that. It's a clusterfuckery of a rabbit hole that is just really hard to get out of once it starts.
The winding up.
Yeah, yeah, winding yourself up.
Which
You,
I think we all did in the beginning of this pandemic thing. I mean, for somebody to say that they didn't, or that they still aren't, they're full of shit. That's what I mean. I just embrace it now. I can't fear the death part. I can't fear the getting of the virus. I can't fear that. Instead, I'm going to just embrace every aspect of the uncomfortable to the comfortable of being quarantined.
well, does it not just actually come in day-to-day life? I mean, um, I know all of us in the Discord channel right now, and maybe people that are watching the pre-recorded broadcast later deal with chronic pain in one way or the other.
Yep.
Um, Chronic pain, mental illness, um, anxieties. I could break off into a wide array of different uh, sociological psychoanalysis mumbo jumbo bullshit. But at the end of the day, stress is a normal part of life. And from a scientific standpoint, stress done correctly does actually help human beings. Now, you notice I said done correctly. If we monitor our own stress levels, which is hard to do, but if we monitor our own stress levels and we get used to doing that, anytime we feel ourselves winding ourselves up, or anytime we feel ourselves going into the cesspool of what if, all right? What if is a very dangerous phrase. But I is an also very dangerous phrase. And I should have is an also a very dangerous phrase.
What about what if?
Well, I just said what if. Eh,
Eh.
shows how somebody's listening. But as a shaman, do we handle stress the same way as others? Or are we just human beings trying to handle the same stress everybody else is, and maybe we just have a different way of doing it? What do y'all think?
Well, I can't speak for the shamans, but you know, you've known me for almost 30 years now, and
Yeah.
you know my attitude in life. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing's changed.
We used to have an old saying, you know, it's lesterology.
Oh Lord, yeah. What?
Lesterology. I don't give a fuck.
I'm the same way to a point. You know, I am who I am. I do what I do. Take me or leave me. I truly don't give a fuck. I mean,
It is what it is.
you know.
Yeah, but you know, at the same time, how do we help someone understand that has never been taught how to just let it be?
I taught that to a girl this weekend that was visiting us. I said, "You're gonna worry yourself sick. She's gonna be what it's gonna be."
I think you have to lead kind of an example, and you have to let them know that. I mean, even with like me or Lester or anybody that has the "I don't give a fuck" attitude, I think we slip though, because at some point in our lives we do give a fuck. We give a fuck whether we're going to be sick, whether we're going to make it here, or whether we always slip to that by showing these people that are not that same mind belief or that are worried constantly, by showing them that we can falter too, but we still go back to that mindset. I think that's a huge teaching tool.
Well, it kind of an oxymoron if we think about it, you know, because we do by the core give a shit about family, friends, things, but at the same time, the things that we can't change, you know, it's like the old serenity prayer, you know, give me the wisdom to know the difference type thing. Change what I can, and what I can't, fuck it. But do we not, as human beings and control freaks, want to control the very things that we have no control of?
Yes and no.
Right?
Yeah, I'm fixing to say yes or no.
Right. So what does this tell people, especially, you know, shamans that are coming into, because I'll tell you straight up from personal experience, shamans are control freak from West Hell. We want to control everything. We want to control the fact that we can't control very little of anything. And I'll be the first one to admit that. But it is what it is. I can't control what people do unless I have interacted with that person to put into motion cause and effect by something I have done or said. But even then, their actions or reactions to something I may have done or said is their own. It is their own responsibility to decide to act or react to something I have done or said. But at the same time, it's my responsibility to act responsibly and not build someone else's stress. How's that for a paradoxical statement?
You have
Nice.
the power to control yourself and yourself only. You cannot control others or anything around you. Plain and simple.
I don't think any of us mean to increase somebody's stress, but it's inevitable that that will happen at some point, because whether it's different faiths, whether it's different careers, whether it's different mindsets, you always got those ones that are greater than thou, or better than everybody else. I don't think we intend to do it, but we're going to do it throughout our life.
Right. Go ahead, Lester.
I said you have the power to control yourself and your own actions. You cannot control anything else in the world. The sooner we all come to that understanding, the happier we will be.
I kind of sort of agree with that till you start talking about cause and effect.
Cause and effect. Well, you point about creating stress for someone else. That's understandable. Trying to take away somebody's pain may in turn cause more stress on that person.
Right. So, like you say, as long as we are working on our own stresses, then we're less likely to project our stress on others.
Right.
Like those of us who have families that we live with. If I don't maintain some semblance of control of my own stress that's going on at the moment, then that stress, irregardless of whether or not I mean to or not, flows over into the family environment that I live in. So if I work on maintaining my own stress, or the exhibition of that stress, and that's gonna bring up another point that we're gonna talk about here in a few minutes. If I am maintaining the objective of my own stress and how I portray that, act on it, don't act on it, or broadcast it, if you will, that in turn, on paper anyway, should allow me to better have an understanding of my own stress. So, in the end of the day, if you out there watching our broadcast are thinking that shamans are better stress handlers than any other path, belief, religion, or whatever, don't even go there. Shamans, witches, druids, agnostics, atheists, Christians, Catholics. Notice I didn't really put Catholics in with Christians. Anyway, also true, whatever, right? Stress is a human thing. Stress isn't a religion thing. It's not a path thing. It's a human thing. Sometimes we allow ourselves to be stressed from other people's actions or inaction. I mean, I know right now at the time of this video there's a lot not going on in Washington that should be going on in Washington.
I
That,
think there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't know about.
when is there not?
Right.
But being the individual I am, that does tend to raise my stress levels just a bit. But if I know that, I understand that, I embrace it, and I accept it, it gives me a better understanding to not project it. So, what's the difference between stuffing stress and handling stress? Anybody?
How to handle it, you mean?
Well, what's the difference between taking stress and just shoving it down and actually pulling it out and dealing with it, facing it, handling it, recognizing it, and putting it where it belongs without projecting it? What is the difference in your
You
mind?
have a heart attack, the other one makes you happy.
Right.
One is embracing it. You have to embrace it and understand that that's your truth at that moment. You have to work through it and understand it in order to, and if it gets to the point that you're building it up and building it up and you are attacking like your family or you are attacking somebody else, you need to realize that that is what you're doing and you have to work from there.
Therein lies the exact point.
That's like when I get stressed out so much, it's like the old ways I used to be. Remember, I used to put everything in the box and shut the lid, say, go away. You can't do that anymore because you got to face it. And if I get so bad, I'll go outside in front of in the circle and stuff and go screaming, what do I do about this? And what do I do about that to get rid of it?
I'm good with it. I just start yelling. Not to other people. I can go outside and I will start, or I'll take a drive and I'll start yelling about it. Whether it's to my gods or to myself or to nobody in general.
Absolutely.
Or to the goats.
Or to the goats.
Or to the goats. Yes, they yell back though.
True.
It's always good to get an answer, baby.
Well, yeah.
Exactly.
If I get a crying session going on, my animals, the dogs, they'll come. Each one of them will come up to me and go, "What's wrong, Mama?"
Yeah, they want to fix it.
Yeah, they want to fix it.
I got a dog and a cat on me right now.
Right. Wait, what?
I have a dog and a cat on me right now.
Oh, I thought you said I have a dog that's going cat on me right now, and I'm like, what?
No. I was gonna get a snake out, but I can't because now I got a cat and a dog on me.
That could be an interesting situation.
I have a petting zoo. Yes, yes, I do.
Yeah.
She's got snakes. She's a
I have 5 snakes, 2 dogs, 2 cats, 6 goats, 20 or 14, 16 chickens, and 4 pigs.
Damn!
Holy
Love
shit.
you, one snake. I miss my snake.
So you got lots of stress relief then.
Yeah, but I have a lot of stress on top of it because then you got to clean all of it, you got to feed all of it, you got to, like my one dog right now, she's stressed out because we have thunder going on and lightning going on and she's nervous.
Yeah, I have to admit the possible wrongness of this statement, but we have this cat that's afraid of his own shadow.
Oh yeah.
So when it starts thundering and lightning outside, the first time it claps, this cat will jump 4 foot straight in the air, and I have to admit I find that absolutely funny as hell.
Well, that's like my dog, my one dog. We used to have our bed elevated, then the bed goes. And before that, I'm laying in bed sleeping, and you know those old beds that you used to pop a quarter in and they used to vibrate?
Yeah.
So I wake up to my bed just vibrating. She's trying to get under the bed. She finally got under the bed, And in the middle of it, she's sitting there shaking and vibrating because the storm is so bad. And I swore to the gods that somebody popped a quarter in my bed. Couldn't figure it out. It was like 3 o'clock in the fucking morning going, what is going on with my bed?
Well, okay, check this. What is one of the number one cures for stress?
Crying,
Yep. What's another one?
laugh,
Yep.
I'm
Yelling.
not saying
Say again.
Yelling.
Yelling. Yep.
Sex.
Yep.
For a lot of people nowadays, in the places that it's legal, pot.
Yep.
oh yeah.
But the
Smashing things.
Yep. But the best physical release of stress is
Meditation.
laughter. I mean, you know, it was said a while ago, but laugh. But yeah, I know when I am at the end of my stress rope, when my daughter getting pissy, as they will do at their age, they walk in and you say good morning and they go
Teenage years.
uh-huh. I find that absolutely hilarious. It really pisses her off, but sometimes I laugh so damn hard I can't breathe.
I do that to my little.
But I
Or they get
find
mad.
right, I find the more stressed I get, the more crazier things that I find funny as hell. Something else I used to recommend to people in stress relief is having, you know, if you don't have a place to hang a punching bag, get a burlap sack and fill it full of sand and sit it someplace where you can just sit on top of it and beat the hell out of it.
Hatchet and a tree stump.
Yeah, you gotta watch tree stumps so they bite back. I've got more than a couple of scars on my knuckles from hitting trees. Not
Said
a
a
real,
hatchet and a tree stump.
a hatchet and a tree. Yeah, that works too. That
Bows
works
do
too. Huh?
Bows. We have bows and hay bales.
Yep. Bows and hay bales. Yep.
That was my stress relief when I was young, coming home from school. We had cut down a bunch of pine trees, and I'd go out every day with the hatchet, and I would chop on tree stumps.
Yep.
Till they were all gone.
My relief now is playing games on the computer.
Yeah, that works. A lot of times I find most games on computers actually give me more stress.
You know?
Well, I played the shoot 'em up ones with the guns, so yeah, I can kill things. Yep, that's good.
So, as it goes to show, shamans don't handle stress any different than anybody else. If you're a human being, you're going to have stress. And as long as you don't take that stress out on someone else, which sometimes is hard to do. I mean, you get families where we're all in quarantine this time of year. There's 5 of us living here. Luckily, we are all separated by walls for the most part. But when you have large families that are stacked on top of each other, and they don't have an out, they don't have personal space, they don't have a place where they can just go and shut themselves off for a bit, they eventually, and you will eventually explode all over the very people that you claim to love.
And one other thing, Don, with the stress going on and everything, if you can't get rid of stress, and it feels like you're doing suicide thoughts, there's always a hotline to call.
Yes, suicide hotline, absolutely. And, you know, when you're going through something like this, you have to, you have to be able to realize the signs of stress-induced anxieties. And they're different for everybody. My stress-induced anxieties manifest themselves in any number of different ways. Not everyone is the same when they're dealing with stress-induced anxieties or the way they deal with it.
And I know we mentioned the suicide hotlines. Some people aren't comfortable calling out to that, but just kind of personal understanding, knowledge of it. Reach out to other people.
Yes,
Reach out to people that you're close to.
yes. Something else too, we have we have an open group, House of Pagans, on Facebook. You can reach out and explode out there and essentially type whatever you want to type. And one, if not all of us, will come back and go, how can we help?
Absolutely.
You know,
The greatest invention that I've found so far in the last 5 years since the accident was the gameplay and Discord.
Yeah.
In the games that I play with people from all over the world.
Yeah.
And you interact with them on Discord. They don't know you. You don't know them. And you're more open to speaking of your problems and getting someone else's opinion on them.
Yeah. Well, there's no emotional attachment.
Right. You don't, well, now, don't get me wrong, you do get emotionally attached to some of these folks. I've actually met a few of them.
Yeah.
You tend to, like, in the group that I'm in, you tend to look at them like an online family, just like we do in the pagan community. We tend to look at everybody as a family.
Yeah.
But when I'm dealing with people who are in, like, Croatia, take one for instance, she goes through the same shit that I go through every day. So it's like you're getting a voice box to throw ideas off of. So that's one release. I mean, if it wouldn't been for them people, I think I would have gone crazy over the last 5 years.
Right. And this is, this type of information for people that watch our videos is priceless. People hear the different types of ways that we all deal with different types of stress. My wife streams 3 to 4 times a week on Twix playing Conan. She admins 3 servers, I think. And I'll tell you, watching this woman play Conan, she's an absolute force to be dealt with. Of course, she is in the real world too, but that's beside the point. But it has actually helped her a bit with her migraines and some of her stress and anxieties that she's going through. And I don't play Conan, I don't have the temperament for it, but I do have my Sims. I will admit I have a Sims 4 virtual machine that I built strictly for Sims 4, and I use mods and all the other shit. Sometimes I'll go out in the neighborhood with one of my Sims and just beat the shit out of anybody I can find.
And then there's me, who I don't do none of that. I used to, but it caused more stress. So me, I have my farm. I have my animals. I have,
Right.
and I know if I'm in a really tough spot, I can message any one of you guys. I have that very, very small group that in my brain I've developed that trust with.
Right.
So yeah, we really all walk kind of different lives.
And during mowing season, I've got this 2.5 acres here that I mow, and that helps. I love nothing better than to ride the lawnmower. Now that I have one that doesn't beat me to death, it's nice. But when I could, I used to work in the yard a lot. I mean, I know that Lester and Cindy and Clint remember those days, work weekends on property.
Oh Lord.
I mean, we'd all work. I miss it. We'd all work our ass into the ground, but man, we'd have a hell of a feast and a hell of a fire that night, drumming and fun. So life changes. We may no longer be the people we were 10 or 15 years ago, or even 5 years ago, or whatever. But the way you
Yep.
say again,
I said, yep.
yeah. So the way you deal with stress, those of you watching our broadcast, you've listened to several different ways that all of us may deal with it. But at the end of the day, task one for stress is admitting and acknowledging and realizing you're stressed. Where's your anger coming from? What's the cause? What's the trigger? That's a big thing. Remembering the power word that I have always used in this broadcast, the power word is stop. Stop the momentum that you're in that is causing the negative actions and reactions. Easy? No. Hell no. Is it easy for us to see our own stress and anxieties and shit that we're doing to others? No. That's where we have to open up and depend on those that, know us and that, we love, that we consider family, to realize when they say, I didn't deserve that. Instead of striking back, stop, step back, and go, what did I just do? A lot of times we don't realize it. Anybody that knows me knows I've got a hell of a mouth, and I can absolutely come unwound on someone and not even realize what I'm saying. I just open my mouth and the shit just flows out, Be like,
Been
dude.
there, seen that many a times.
Yeah. So it's like, dude, chill. Where the fuck did that come from? People that are closest to me have learned that if they just stop and say, look, where did that just come from? Where did what just come from? What you just said. What'd I say? Blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. So stress is very dangerous. If we handle stress correctly and we learn from stress and learn it, let it help us become stronger in our daily lives. Some stress is alright. If we stuff it, that's not good. If we ignore it, that's not good. If we pretend it doesn't exist, that's worse than ignoring it. That's worse than stuffing it. Go ahead.
Hey Sabrina, she's in chat.
Hey, who? What? Oh, really?
Yep, Sabrina just came in.
Alright. Well, bless her heart, she just came in on the ass end of the broadcast. Well, don't stress it. So, step one, see it, realize it, acknowledge it for what it is. Accept it. Admit it. Step two, realize the trigger for the stress. Realize the trigger for the stress, what it's doing, what it causes, what's happening to you. And then you have to always remember the power word to any negative activity, thoughts, processes, anxieties, whatever. Stop. Stop the momentum of what you're doing, saying. Stop your own momentum of swirling down in that rabbit hole that's not going to end you any place but in a bad way. Anybody have anything else they want to offer or put in or say? Or I know we had a couple of guys just really kind of come into the chat here. Anybody else want to offer anything on stress, how to deal with it, some of the shit they're dealing with?
I
Yep.
guess the only
Go
thing
ahead.
else I would say is that also don't get down on yourself. Like I say that I have my farm to be on. I can't do anything on it because of physical restraint. But I find a lot of times that I get really down on myself because I'm not the person that I used to be. So along with that stop, where people can use that to you, or you can use that when you see yourself going downhill, also be conscious in your own mind to say stop. That stop dogging yourself out. Stop creating that stress and that self-hatred.
Stopping that momentum.
Yep.
Learn your limitations.
Knowing and accepting your limitations, yes. Limitation 1, do not turn hip that direction. It doesn't like it.
Right. Don't step on feet early in the morning. Just stay there.
Sometimes that could be fun to watch. For others.
'Cause I used to be a workhorse, but now I've learned my limitations.
Me and you both, bro. I mean, I used to go from sun up to sundown with break only for food and drink. Now I have to convince myself to get out and mow the lawn. Yeah, Rachel says meditation helps. Break it down. What's starting the stress? You know, what the trigger? Yeah, what's starting the stress? Where'd it come from? What the trigger was. So, at the end of the day, it essentially all comes down to the same thing. Acknowledge where the stress is coming from. And if you cannot figure out a way to handle the stress, not stuff it, not forget about it, not just compile it, reach out. I mean, if you're pagan and not comfortable reaching out to anyone else, we've got pagan groups all over the place that would be very happy to help where we can. If you're not comfortable talking to people that you may know about your situation, do like Lester and some others do. Get on some of the gaming platforms or groups of people that don't know you from Adam. And sometimes it's easier talking to a stranger than it is talking to someone you know. You don't necessarily have the embarrassment factor. So just because something may work for me or may work for someone else, be willing to try the different things that may work for you. And hell, if you're all out of ideas, reach out to the community. That's what we're here for. You know, we have Christian, atheist, Jewish, all kinds reach out to us because pagans tend to approach things a little differently. One of the things I'm not going to do is tell you to God knows handle everything and God will handle everything. You got to get, at the end of the day, the fact is you got to get off your ass and do the work yourself.
If you give it to God, He's going to be too busy to deal with it.
Yeah. No matter what faith you carry, at the end of the day, you have to do the work. You have to do the acknowledgement. You have to do the acceptance. faith can help. People can help. Friends, family, whatever can help. But at the end of the day, you have to do the work. Anybody else have anything to offer before we bugger off and let everybody have their Sunday back?
Nope.
Nope.
Now I get to do my work of converting these damn videos and uploading them. Well, listen, you guys have a great day and a great week, and let's hope all this pandemonial bullshit will pass over real quick and get her done, and we can get back to some kind of realistic life.
Well, I'm about to go get my weekly dose of stress and disappointment.
Sounds like fun.
Walmart.
Yeah, well, that answers that, doesn't it?
No, Walmart.
Well,
Wait, Walmart curbside pickup. There you go.
yep, there you go. Well, you
Walmart,
guys,
don't
you
know,
guys
that
have a
curbside pickup, it's a nice idea, but you know, when you're looking for something specific and you don't know how to explain to the idiot on the phone,
good luck with that.
you gotta go in. That's
You
all there
got-
is
you-
to it.
PPP up, brother. Put on that body condom and go for it. All right, you guys have a good week, and we'll catch you on the flip side and talk to you later.